Hello, my name is Chris Fusco. As part of the evaluation class, my CRLA will be to evaluate my school's CEP along with the school's school leadership team. I am the chairperson of the school leadership team, so I will be leading the initiative to evaluate the CEP. While we were evaluating the CEP, we noticed that teacher collaboration was low within grade levels. Specifically, my grade level, 4th grade, I used it as our target population to start our new lab site initiative, which involves intervisitations for 4th grade teachers to see how other teachers have best practices in their classrooms, especially for new units of study that teachers new on the grade level or teachers who only have 2 or 3 years of experience, how they can input best practices into their classroom. So these cross visitations will allow them the opportunity to see how other teachers who have been on the grade level for a while, how they have these best practices in their class and how they teach to high standards. So for this lab site initiative, first, many things had to be ironed out. For example, scheduling. I had to work with the assistant principal for scheduling, and we had to create a schedule for teachers to go into other teachers' classrooms. If a teacher is going to be taken out of their room, then someone else would have to be covering that classroom. Another thing that we had to take into consideration is who were going to be these highly effective teachers that were going to be teaching or being observed by other teachers. What lessons will we be observing, and what will the students be doing during this time? By maintaining consistent communication with teachers on my grade level, I'm able to collect valuable insight into the concerns that they might have and what they might like to see in a lab site, what kind of lessons or what techniques they might want to watch. In order to create a personalized and motivating environment for all students, I would like to work with my team to create open communication so that all teachers feel comfortable sharing ideas and also sharing work and student data, so we can become familiar with other students that aren't necessarily in our classrooms. So the grade level can be a cohesive unit. From a survey that I collected from 4th grade teachers on my grade level, I noticed that they feel that collaboration with other members on their team is low. So in order to increase this, we started with 4th grade to start this lab site initiative. Before the lab site begins, there will be a pre-meeting with those observing the highly effective teacher, the highly effective teacher themselves, and the administrator to discuss what they will be viewing, what type of models the teacher will be using, and what the student work will be. Not 2 weeks before, the highly effective teacher will be notified that they are going to be observed by other teachers. 1 week before the actual observation, that highly effective teacher will be responsible for submitting their lesson plan to the administrator for review. 2 days before the lesson, there will be a pre-observation conference where the administration, the highly effective teacher, and the observers will all meet to discuss what the actual lesson will be. Then, during the observation, the observers, the administrator, and the highly effective teacher will briefly meet for 30 seconds to discuss what's happening in the classroom and a quick debrief. Then, during a post-observation conference, which will take place 2 to 3 days after the intervisitation, they will debrief and discuss what they saw, what they learned, what the students were doing, and how other teachers can include this in their classrooms. 1 month after the actual intervisitation, observers will be responsible for submitting a lesson plan that includes techniques and styles that they learned from the intervisitation from the highly effective teacher. This is keeping observers accountable, keeping the highly effective teacher accountable, and keeping students in different classrooms accountable, and creating a cohesive grade level. By working with my administrator to create a schedule and a flexible schedule so that all teachers feel included and have the option to visit these lab sites, I made a flexible schedule with my administrator. I think it's important that all teachers feel included and not just teachers on one grade level. To take this CRLA further, I would expand this from 4th grade to 3, 4, and 5, primarily to the testing grades, so that teachers on testing grades can see best practices. For example, a 3rd grade teacher can see how a 5th grade teacher might teach a reading lesson to hold those students to high accountable standards, to show higher test scores. Thank you for listening to my CRLA, and I'm excited to share the data with you that I have collected.